It's literally not our fault that any of this is happening at all. Even the drainage off of our driveway is next to nothing. See, that's a hill. There's nothing hardly flowing down our hill. That's a normal amount of water. This is not normal, and I'm tired of it. You can literally see the flow coming out the back side of our pond. All of that in the background is the overflow that's joining into the creek. And all of this, where you see that mud in the water, is where all of the dirt that we dug out of our pond is washing back into it. And that's not our fault. I mean, our property itself does not drain that much water. This is a hill. It does drain some water, not much. Up there, you can see there is nothing that is coming down our hill that compares to what is coming off of the highway from the broken drainage culvert. Our property was not meant to handle this kind of water. And we did this thinking that we could just stage it there and spread it out next summer whenever we had the money to hire in somebody to run heavy equipment. We didn't anticipate that this would break again and wash everything that we had dug out back into our pond, and it is not our fault. And I'm ready for somebody to try to come fix it. I mean, if we had not replaced this culvert, our driveway would be gone this morning. That is a huge pipe that we put in there, and it's still barely handling the amount of water that is coming off of the highway. And I'm not gonna let this go. I mean, this is whatever it takes to get this fixed and get it fixed properly is what's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to be me having to hire an attorney, if that's going to be y'all actually getting out here to fix it sometime soon, but I mean, this is awful. I don't even have the words to express the frustration that I have watching everything get washed back into the pond again and flood out my property over and over and over again. I'm tired of this. I mean, there's just leaks all the way along this thing, and they're everywhere. And it's not the drainage off of my driveway slope. It's fine. There's nothing up there. It's barely even a trickle coming down the hill. It is all because of the highway. Please come fix this. And while we're at it, this creek back here, that backs up because the underpass drainage for the highway where that is supposed to flow to is blocked off with brush, and then the other underpass backflows into my horse pasture because one side of the highway is set up higher than the side that I live on, so everything on that side of the highway flows back into my horse pasture too. We don't have an escape from the water. Everything that was done whenever this highway was put in literally drained it onto our property. And I am sick of being hit from every single direction on your mess ups. I mean, we have got to get something done to get this flowing properly. You can see it's over the road down here, and I have watched the people in our neighborhood have to take their kids out by four-wheeler to get to the school bus every day whenever it does this because they can't get a vehicle across it. And that is ridiculous. It is a backup that is caused by the highway. It didn't used to do this, and now it does. And we're all sick of it. We've tried to get our property owner association to help us, take this to court to get something done. They don't want to get involved. They just say, oh, well, we'll have to deal with it. It's nobody should have to drive their children in and out with four-wheelers because the road can't properly drain. And I'm just sick of this. I mean, I don't even have the words anymore. I am so frustrated. And we've been talking about this for, 3+ years now? And nobody even tries to fix it the right way. They just say, oh, well, it's too involved because there's a highway there. Well, you should have thought about that whenever you put it in. I mean, there is a right way and a wrong way to engineer things. And yes, maybe the highway was an improvement, but you can put in an improved road without ruining people's property in the process. That is part of your responsibility whenever you go to improve something, is not to tear up other people's properties in the process of doing that. And that is what is happening right now. And I want you to fix it. I want my property to drain. And we can't keep doing this. We're gonna live at this property for a long time. We have no intentions of moving, and it's gonna get fixed all the way down. This is what I am talking about. There is a highway underflow right there that is raised on the other side of the highway so that it backflows over onto our side instead of staying on the other side where it should be. And then you have this. This is caused because the water in the woods is backed up from the creek because it can't use the big underflow that's over there farther down. It's just a disaster. This is more of what it looks like whenever the creek can't drain where it's supposed to under the highway. This is all my horse pasture. That fence is about to collapse on that side. It's getting washed in. I guess I'm gonna have to pull up the whole line and move it. I don't know. Nobody has seemed to care recently. But yeah, this whole thing is flooded. That's all coming off the pond right now. There's the overflow from that. And then of course the creek that's draining over the road over there. And it just comes together and makes this big disaster that we have here. That's what it looks like whenever our neighbors realize that they can't even get out of the road right now because all of that is flooded all the way down. So I guess they're just gonna go back home and not go to church this morning. So this is the view from Rebar, and you can see here, that's my pond over there, and that's where the water's flooding in. And then this here is our road. This is Rebar. You can see that there's somebody right there, one of the neighbors, that can't get out to get to church today because the water has nowhere to go. It can't drain under